Hi guys, welcome to week 3 of our 6-bed HMO project. So this is for supported living, which will then take over, manage and look after as well. So the projected timeline for this, I think, is 7 weeks. We're currently in week 3. Everything seems to be going really well. So we're not behind, we're not really ahead. It's just a good pace and very sort of consistent pace as well. Actually, a shed load of work has been done, so we're really happy with that. It's because we're using our main builder. Okay, so Ashley will again walk you through and talk about the sort of stuff he's talked about. He's talked to the builder with this week and also our client. Okay, let me turn it around.
Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. So again, like you said, we're just going to run around. I'm just going to show you some of the progress and some of the issues. So I think you might have seen last week where I was mentioning some of the plaster in this house was just of really poor quality. And when we were actually taking away from the door frames, it's ripped a whole load of plaster around. So at one stage, a couple of weeks ago, in the first week, we were kind of a little bit on edge because we thought that we might end up with a big cost to having to repair all the plaster around the doors. As it turns out, we took them all out first to investigate, and as it turns out, it was bad, but not as bad as before. So you can kind of see here where we've taken out this door frame and it's ripped out a good chunk of plaster and plasterboard, but all good. 5 frames are in and the fire doors are starting to go in. So step into room 1. So you can see we have done the strip out for the most part in the property. This is being used as a bit of a storeroom at the moment. As you know, gas meter in there is going to be turned around, put out there, so we're all good. Let's just walk into, let's walk into room 2. So this room is probably, let me open this down. This room is probably one of the ones that will need the least amount of work, but we can see here, door leading into the garden, definitely needs a thumb lock turn. There's also that door behind you two, which is sort of a bit of a store area under the cupboard that is just, it's not stuck anymore, it was stuck. So we're just going to switch this door because again, now I know there's a lot of investors, there's probably a lot of property people that would say, it's only a door to a cupboard, we might give it a little paint and just leave it as is. But for us, we're going to do the job, let's do it properly. So we're going to get this door swapped out, get it something a lot nicer. For the most part, the fire doors are actually in, so we're getting closer and closer to getting all the fire doors in. I think most of them are upstairs and we're just working on the ones downstairs. So let me take you into the kitchen. Hello, sir.
All right.
So builder. So what we've actually done in this room is, you guys would have seen last week that this wall had quite a bit of damp on it. Now we've identified the issue, we've actually dealt with the issue, and now we, in consultation with the landlord, we've just decided to plaster and re-skim. Now, I think this is probably one of the big advantages of working with, your sort of trusted builder. Now, you guys can see a lot of the damage to the plaster. You would have seen this damage where the cooker was previously, and the plaster all around just isn't and wasn't in great condition. There were leaks in here, there was damp, the plaster was pulling away. So, our builder's going to be putting in a new kitchen. We've decided we're going to go for a new kitchen. You guys would have seen a few weeks ago the kitchen wasn't in great condition. Now, I think this probably shines a big light on the professionalism of our builder.
And the values as well.
And the values that he holds, and ultimately they're exactly the same values that we hold. So what Michael said is that yes, I can make good pretty much everywhere, but it's not going to be a great job. It's not really what he wants to put his name to. So what he actually done is offered the investor and said, look, I will actually re-plaster, reboard this whole kitchen and I'll just do it at cost price, because effectively he was going to do this part anyway and he was going to do that wall, so it would just make sense for him to do the whole of it, and he said he would do it at cost. It's not gonna, it's not making any profit off of him. But for someone that's going to be putting a new kitchen in, does it make sense to put a brand new kitchen in and you've got absolutely poor plaster all over the property that was literally crumbling in my fingers last week.
And that won't last very long anyway.
It's not going to last long, so it could be 2, 3 years, 4 years down the line that you're ripping out a fairly new kitchen and a good standard kitchen because you have to deal with plaster and plasterboard behind it.
But I mean, it's a very kind thing for him to offer, because that's the sort of
100%.
values. Yeah, that's the sort of
100%.
values that we work by.
It's difficult getting a good relationship with a builder.
That you can trust.
Yeah, exactly, and someone that you can trust. I mean, a builder can sit there and add on costs and add on costs and add on costs. If you don't know what you're looking at and you don't know what you're talking about, it's going to be extremely difficult, and you're either going to end up sucking up those costs, or you're going to come to a standstill with the builder where it's an issue. But for us, we've worked with Michael on plenty of projects. Again, our knowledge is growing every week. As much as we're professionals, we're always learning. We're ever students, so we're always learning about costing, about pricing, that type of stuff. So it just makes sense when we're offered sort of that suggestion, to take it to the investor and take it.
I mean, with trades, the quote won't be the lowest. It won't be the highest, but that's why. Because you are getting a good service out of it, and we'll save money in the long run just through good quality service and good quality products.
And I think that's the big point, isn't it? Too, we save money in the long run.
Yeah.
So you would have seen here last week boiler pipes. Now, again, some investors will be happy to just leave boiler pipes exposed. For us, easy to just box them in, and you will see where our new boiler is going to sit. Shower room downstairs has already been done. So if you want to pan into there quickly too. And then this area is just going to host our washer dryer. We're potentially going to double it up if we need to double it up. We probably won't need to. But even again, down the back of here too, don't know if you can see. Already boxed in, already fireboarded in. Previously, just loads of exposed wires. Didn't look very nice. Now, looking really nice. Right, let us head upstairs. Then we can see some of the finished door frames upstairs. So, into room number 3, so you can see all around window frames. Again, we had to plaster up, so all have been plastered, all ready now to be painted. So for the most part, this room is not going to be just far off just being painted. We're going to make sure, obviously, all our electrics are working fine, all our fire alarms are working fine, make any adjustments where needed. But yeah, fire doors in. You can see the hinges all done properly, and space for the intumescent strips. Into room number, what room is this for? So, this room didn't look great before. There was a whole lot of damp up in that corner. You can still see a little bit there where we've just had to replaster around this part. We've already investigated, we've found the cause of the issue, so shouldn't be any more issues going forward. So it's just a case of getting it all cleaned up, getting it tidied up. Into the bathroom, so you can see new door on the bathroom, new flooring on the bathroom, and again, this bathroom here is just going to be cleaned up. You can see there's a little bit of flaking on the walls. Again, issue identified and dealt with. It's just a case of now cleaning it up, and then when we do a fresh lick of paint all through the house, it will look pretty much brand new. Into the smallest room in the house. So we can see boiler gone. Not a great place to put a boiler, but again, a lot of investors have taken on properties where the boiler is in this existing room. They've boxed it in, they've done whatever they needed to do. Now that we're doing a refurbishment, it makes total sense for us to just move it downstairs into an area that is much more accessible by trades, and not accessible or as accessible by tenants, i.e. in the room. So yeah, straightforward on this, and we're going to be leaving this small tea station in. We can see above here, blocked up where it was previously glass. In that room as well too, you can see blocked up where it was previously glass. And then right there as well, blocked up where it was gas. So, brand new fire door in. This is our loft room. So, haven't really done much work actually in here. Up here, it's just a case of really more just cleaning up everything and giving it a tidy, giving it a fresh lick of paint. So yeah, I think that's it. A couple of adjustments we're going to be making to the small shower room. And then, other than that, pretty straightforward. I don't think we've encountered any more issues with this. Now again, you know, having that relationship with your builder, for us, this is why it's extremely important to do the build in the right stages. So we've done the rip out, we've cleaned everything up, and then we've been able to see what issues are there, i.e. the doors. Whereas we've had previous experience where things weren't done in order, and it means that in week 6 you're finding issues, or week 7, 8, 9 and 10, or then, you know, a week or 2 before you're meant to be finishing the project, you're finding issues. Now, property is not without any issues. You're always going to get issues, but when when you fully strip the house out and start doing sort of the bigger, more important things, like stripping it out, checking the walls, checking door frames, you find these things out in week 1. So where a lot of your extra costs are, you should be able to factor those in within the sort of first week or first couple of weeks of the build.
Okay, so we're pretty much flying through with this one. Pretty exciting, a lot less stressful than some of the other ones. Okay, see you guys next week. Bye.